Train King Podcast. Delicious dish. You're on the air. Susan Marie Meister Butler here.
Sarah Louise Butler Rice.
It changes all the time.
Every single time.
Different order. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing real well. I thought that we were going to be celebrating spring, but then we had a freaking snowstorm. I don't know. The weather in Denver in April is very just split personality weather.
It happens sometimes. I remember one time when I was little, we had a big snowstorm on Easter, and we made an Easter bunny snow bunny.
That's adorable.
It is, but not really. Who wants that?
Right. You want to be hunting for Easter eggs and
yeah. I hope things melt and get warmer for you soon.
Is Lincoln still in the Easter egg hunting age gathering? Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's typical for his age, but he's into it.
I mean, fuck, I'd be into it if you hid some eggs around.
Right.
And you told me there's candy. I mean, that sounds like a lot of fun.
FUN. That's right.
Right. And I just had a celebrated Passover dinner with Eli's family. And there's a part where they break the matzah and then hide some of it. And I can't remember the name of, you hide it for, all my Jewish friends are screaming right now. And
I don't remember, but I know what you mean.
And then whoever finds it gets a prize. And so
Passover in general is less FUN than the old egg hunt, I gotta say.
I mean, is there anything that's really as fun as running around searching for things and that may be filled with candy?
Well, true. But I mean, was this your first Passover?
No, 1,000,000th.
Oh, because you celebrated with your ex?
And with my aunt's side of the family, my Uncle David and all of his family. And then my roommates when I lived in San Francisco were from Israel. So,
well, you must be real tolerant then, because they're kind of they go on and on.
This is silly, but
you just want to eat
the story, and I always get emotional, and it's always sweet. And then when they talk about the sons and the children read, and then they say the different parts, and they answer, and then everybody sings, and I'm just I always cry. Always cry. I told Eli, I said 50-50 chance of me crying. And then I cried it on the first page.
That is crazy.
I know.
You cry.
Well, yeah, it was just really sweet. It was a beautiful celebration. And it was when Eli's sister told me that this is the same group that they had and that all got together when all of their babies were little, and they lined them all up on the couch, and there were 15 of them. Well, now all these babies are 18, and they all took the photo together, and all the parents are oh, I remember when you guys, and I was this is so sweet. What a great community. Come on. So
at Passover, were you hey, what about how Jesus rose from the dead?
Well, I did. I was talking to Eli about this. I'm theirs
really
is ours is kind of ours. I'm claiming
right. You're so faithful.
Right. I'm come on.
I mean, it's hard to beat zombie Jesus. I mean, that's
really
it's a real showstopper.
I don't know. I take truth over fiction.
Sarah laying down the gauntlet. It would have been funny though if you kept saying he is risen during Seder.
Eli was doing that on the way there. He was being real funny. It's well, he is risen, because we couldn't get over the is part that he and I have asked this because he saw a sign or something, and then I got into this whole conversation about why it is he is risen, not he has risen, and how it's the actual. And this is a whole thing because I asked this question.
What makes you
years
even
ago.
ask that? That's so interesting that you would even.
Because why wouldn't you say risen feels like an action, not something that
is
right. He is. Because I had to tell him it's kind of like bread. The bread is risen. Risen is not.
Yeah.
The bread has.
You wouldn't say this. Yeah. The sun is risen.
No.
I see your point.
And we had to look it up. We had to Google it. It was like a whole thing.
I
haven't been to church in a very long time.
Yeah.
I've actually been to more Passovers than Easters.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
because that's what we always did. That was what, that was where we.
Yeah, you have a real multicultural family over there.
Yeah, and I was telling there was one where we my mom dated a man who his family was Orthodox, and that was like where we had to wear hats and wigs, and I had to sit in another room, and I couldn't talk to anybody.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was like for one.
You had to wear a wig?
Yeah, like a hat. I had to wear a hat, keep my hair covered up.
That is so great.
Mm-hmm.
Your life is crazy.
So weird.
Just because she was dating him, you had to pretend
because we went over to their family's house and I remember that I wasn't allowed in the living room, with, I don't know if it was with the adults or with the men or something, where I had to sit. I was just sitting in, I don't know if they were like, no, this is where you sit. And I was sitting on the floor with the kids, and I was like, this seems very not for me.
I cannot believe your life. I cannot believe you've dabbled in orthodoxy.
I didn't. My mother dated somebody whose family was,
I'm glad they broke up, because I don't know if you could have hacked that.
Yeah. No, me? I don't think my mom could have either. None of us in that family, please.
No, that's a real odd couple situation.
Yeah. But no, it wasn't anything like that. It was wonderful and
good.
And they added things like orange on the plate to symbolize women's presence and right to be there. And I like that. And they make statements about, they were it was really beautiful. It was just, I just love it.
That's good.
I just better than.
You love a ritual.
I do. I love a ritual so much. And okay. What fun stories do I have to tell you today? Oh, okay. This is funny. I did see this.
Well, before you share, I had something I got to tell you, and this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. And the reason is because they're freaking great and we love them, because everybody needs therapy.
Yes.
Oh, you need therapy.
That is the truth. And if you're like, no, I don't need therapy, you probably
need it the most. Yes.
And how many other people are telling you in your life that you need it? Okay.
And it is empowering. Don't feel like it's a burden. It's empowering, and you learn a lot, and you start to see the world and yourself in new ways. And BetterHelp is great because you can do it from your home or wherever you are, because you can do video or chat or whatever. And it's a nice introduction too. If you've thought about trying it, but you're not sure, that's a great way to do it. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/braincandy today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/braincandy.
Did you see, or I should say, are you familiar with, from a long time ago, in 1978, I think, there's this famous image, or not video, of what people said was the best evidence that Sasquatch was real.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It's a guy, it looks like a man walking, like a gorilla, no, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, walking, he's kind of swinging his arms, and then he pauses, and he looks over his shoulder, and he looks at the camera.
Footage,
and then, so this is the famous footage that almost all, folklore, that really, made the Sasquatch, Bigfoot Renaissance, boom, happen. Because I bet they believed it way back when. I don't know. I feel like this is a research, it brought it back to popularity,
Totally. Yes.
And so recently, AI has been used to stabilize that image, because before, one of the things that was really, I don't know, made it kind of convincing was that it was so unstable that you couldn't really get a clear look at it, no matter what they did, no matter how many times
it was very grainy.
Very grainy. And then there was always music that was played with it that was that super haunting, and I'm like, whoa! It totally gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. So they stabilized this image, and of course I have to watch it.
Yeah.
Still gives me the shivers. Still gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
But 100%.
What? It's just some guy? Oh, no.
In a gorilla suit.
Shut up.
100%. Like the comments underneath, this was on Twitter. The comments underneath were like, I wore that same costume for Halloween. It just looks like the guy was maybe like doing his walk of shame home from some Halloween party and then just like turns around because somebody was like, hey, Mike. And he like, what? Hey, and then he just like kept walking. Like that's what it looks like.
And do you think that the Yeti in the footage was complicit? Like
now,
he was
people
in on
are
this?
going to argue with us and say it's not a Yeti.
Oh, it's a Bigfoot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Squatching.
It's neither. But like, I feel like I try. There's something about Sasquatch, or like I think in the Denver area, there's like a casino or something, or some like town where like Sasquatch or some brewery or something like that up here. And so there was a picture on a beanie that I won at trivia. And I was like, hey, look, I was showing Eli and I was like, hey, look, it's got like the Yeti on it. He goes, that's not a Yeti. It's just got, and then I get a whole lecture on like what so I think there's a difference. I wasn't listening.
Do you think it's geographical? Like depends on where you see it?
I think the Yeti is like the Himalayas, right?
Oh God.
I say this like it's factual. Like
that's okay. I like it. I should have called my friend Val. He is a Squatcher. I think that's what they call themselves.
Really?
He's a Bigfoot enthusiast. He goes to conventions and stuff.
I wonder what he thinks about this
I
footage.
For sure should text him and ask him because wonder if like the diehards are still convinced.
Well, they are because I looked. And just a quick little Google search gave me some information here. If you're wondering what the difference between Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and Yeti is, and abominable snowman, Sasquatch has become the more universally respected name for the primate-person hybrid. And it's mostly the Pacific Northwest and parts of Vancouver and British Columbia. Bigfoot is the most common shorthand, that this is more in the United States. And the Yeti is particularly the Himalayan mountain region.
Okay.
And it's in more Arctic
where
climates.
Was that video filmed?
Well, this one was I think it was in the Pacific Northwest or something like that. I don't know.
So that would be Bigfoot, you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Bigfoot, Sasquatch. And
okay. Well,
do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Is there such thing?
I'm not inclined to believe. I'm open to it, as I am with all things, theories. But
you're more open to that story than I am the idea that somebody came back from the dead 3 days later. This is hilarious.
I want to believe that too. That sounds great. I mean, I think it's really fun. I think it's really fun to consider it. And when I do talk to my friend Val about it, he is, I never know if he's serious or not, but he claims that he believes.
I want to know what his evidence is, because I think a lot of people pointed to this video. Like, no, have you seen that video? There is, however, another video that was taken pretty recently, and it was by this man named Josh. I can't remember his last name. Josh something. He captures it on his phone, and he's in Florida. And already, where I'm like, guy in Florida capturing Bigfoot, I'm suspicious. And it looks really like a gorilla that's just in the jungle, and it's like ripping a tree, and you hear it like tearing big pieces off. And then all of a sudden it stands up, and the guy just takes off running and run, like far, like obviously running away from this scared creature.
Yeah.
But come on. It says that this is the most convincing evidence of all. And a lot of people think that maybe this is it.
Do you think that all the various sightings and footage and stuff are just figments of imagination, optical illusions, or like bears?
Yeah. I think it's probably, like this guy who has this Florida man who has, supposedly the best evidence. He was out hunting hogs, hunting like wild boar or pigs. So I feel like the kind of person who's like, you're out there for hours alone. Maybe your
brain plays tricks on you.
Your brain plays tricks on you. It's like, who hasn't walked into their bedroom or house at night and been like, oh, that's a monster. Oh no, it's a jacket on my chair. Oh, we're good.
Well, and the naysayers, they always point to the fact that, you never see like a corpse or like there's no dead big feet.
Yeah.
And so then they have to come up with a thing. They'll say like, well, they go to die. They go like hide.
Yeah.
But what if they're just hit by a tree or something? They didn't go.
Or just squashed into that, Susie. Did you mean to do that?
No, I didn't. I really didn't.
Squashed. Stop it. Okay, maybe this is just our terrible understanding of animals, which we actually know nothing about. Maybe this is just something where we I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate over here. I just saw a clip online from, I think it was like Now This News or something, where it was talking about how there was a stork type of some bird that was impaled by a spear through the neck. And this was in, I want to say like the late 1800s or something, or it must have been longer than that. I don't fucking know. It was before we knew about migration of birds. It was before we knew even about like, what was over there in like another continent. And so at that time, according to this article that I was looking at, or the story I was looking at, it said that scientists or people had no idea what happened to birds during the winter. Some people thought that they transformed into a different kind of bird. Other people thought that they flew to the moon. That was actually a theory. And
right.
What helped to understand migratory patterns of birds, or even like what migration is a spear that was found, that this bird was found in England that was impaled by a spear that was from Africa. And they thought their only way that bird, and they created a word for it that's called like, I don't know, like spearbird. I can't remember the name of it or how they say it. It almost sounds like a German word, but it's this, and was not the first example. There were many examples of birds who had been impaled by something, flew thousands of miles, and then somebody found it. Like somebody shot this bird, and you can see it. It's like they stuffed it. It's up like in, I don't know, maybe the Smithsonian or something like that. But this is how they discovered like migratory patterns of birds, and and like the idea that, birds probably fly. Because could you imagine thinking like that little thing flies that many thousands of miles? Fuck no, our ships can't even do that. And so you'd never think that is where, if you didn't know anything about animals, which we don't know shit about shit.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so, that is a good reminder that like, it's sort of like the elephant analogy where you like, if you only touch that one part, that's what you think the whole thing is or whatever.
So I don't know.
I asked him if he saw that new footage, but I'm not sure, because he said, I think it's real, too detailed to be faked at that time. And then I was like, did you see the stabilized version? Because Sarah thinks it's some guy in a costume, but I'll tell her you said to go fuck herself if you want me to. So we'll see what he says. But you, for your eyes, when you saw it, you were like, okay, this is a open and shut case. When
I saw it, I was like, oh, that definitely is a man in a gorilla suit. But maybe I just saw that because what I was looking for was a more zoomed in version.
Yeah.
It's still, I think I only believed that because somebody told me that, I don't know. Sure.
All right. Well, it might be a Rorschach test where like whatever you're inclined to believe is what you see.
Yeah.
He says, on the contrary, it shows muscle definition not available with 1960s costume technology.
Okay. Hey, guys, this has now become a controversial topic. Like, is it or is it not evidence proving or disproving?
Muscle definition. I mean, I don't really believe in Bigfoot, but what I do believe in is Nutrafol, and that's because it's helping my hair.
I have handed that out to some friends of mine, and I was going to give it to one friend who goes, I'm good, and opens her pantry and shows me she's got her bottle right there.
Right.
I'm like, this is great. I'm so glad so many people are finding a doctor, like, approved thumbs up
situation.
Yeah.
And since I talk about my hair, tragedy all the time, I hear from a lot of people who've had their own stories, whether it's like from hormones or pregnancy or, whatever I had to deal with my stylist. And it really upsets people when they think their hair is thinning or if they have some sort of breakage. And so Nutrafol is a godsend for me. It is a supplement that I take that helps my hair grow faster and remain stronger, and it helps with hair health. And like Sarah said, this is the real deal, science backed. And you can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code BRAINCANDY to save $10 off your first month subscription. This offer is only available to U.S. customers for a limited time, plus free shipping on every order. Get $10 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code BRAINCANDY. Cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah.
They have like serum. They have the whole setup, whatever you need.
Keep your hair healthy.
Yeah. That is interesting. Okay. Thank you for all that information you provided. That was
about
really
Sasquatch.
Yeah, and also the bird thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I mean, that one I should come in with more notes, but I didn't know we were going to talk about that. Yeah. There is another animal term, I guess you can call it, that I learned. I did not know this was a thing. This is again another example of we don't know anything about what's going on. Have you heard of the term photoluminescence?
I don't think so.
So photoluminescent, meaning I had not, I heard of bioluminescence, and that's like, when like things glow in the dark. Photoluminescence is when you hold a UV light up to an animal and their fur glows. Or the animal will have a part of them that glows under UV light. Photoluminescence it occurs when photons of UV light are absorbed and re-emitted at longer wavelengths by proteins other than organic compounds. And there are a whole bunch of animals that glow under UV light.
No
and
way.
People don't really know what. Geckos, puffin penguins, the eyes of a possum, that's one we're all really familiar with. You know how the eyes will glow when you kind of... And the duck-billed platypus, that glows. And also... this like some animals that you wouldn't think of. Like there was a mouse that is in England, this like dormouse that they just discovered has bioluminescent or photoluminescent properties. And when you put it under UV light, it glows like red. And the females, when they're in heat, they glow like a pinkish color.
No.
Yeah. And we have no idea why.
What's your theory?
Well, I think that we don't have eyeballs that can even see this, because what it is that we need. Remember how we talked about the mantis shrimp, and how the mantis shrimp has the eyeballs of a mantis shrimp can, whatever the cells that are in it can be used to detect UV light in other cells, and they used that same property, whatever it is, to then inject tumors with UV, I don't know, the stuff that makes it glow under UV radiation. And with that same lens, we're able to remove the brain tumor with like 99.8% precision, with like no, taking any extra area you shouldn't. And so I think that our eyeballs are seeing such a small percentage of what is really there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's for sure true. We know that with color.
Yeah. When you told me that about that woman who could see more colors, or that the people who only see a few colors.
Yeah.
we can't even wrap our minds around this stuff. I can't. Forget it.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of animals that can see more or different things than we can.
Yeah.
You know?
Like when they say flies see things in slow motion, like, come on.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Those guys.
That means
Why
you have like a different
that?
understanding of time than I do.
That's right. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Time is not fixed.
Yeah.
You know, our perception of time and just, it's all freaky, man.
It's really freaky, and we don't know anything. So I don't know. Maybe there's Sasquatch. Maybe there's a Yeti.
I was thinking the other day.
Maybe they do something weird, like dig a hole. We like doing that, and then bury themselves when they die, and then they just decompose. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Yes. No, you're right. Could be. I was thinking about, I was listening to the episode recently where you talk about that asteroid. And I was thinking about how your topics, you really love animal and space related trivia and facts.
It's really funny because another story I have in my list is a space related story.
I'm telling you, it took me all these years to really get it right, because I prefer people stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And your stuff is really like animals and space. And I wonder why. What do you think that is?
I don't know.
It's cool.
Yeah, maybe it's because with the people stuff, I don't know. I feel like it kind of like even the weird things that we talk about, like the people who have like the dolls, like the living dolls. We talked about that. Where like I can understand. I'm like, okay, I get it. I see why.
So it's not
and
mysterious.
So I'm like, maybe it's not a story. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I get this. I can see why. Yeah, you're gonna eat the couch cushion. I understand that. You know,
I've been there.
Yeah, who hasn't wanted to chew on the couch?
That's interesting.
But I'm like, what? A mouse glows red when you put a UV light up to it? Who knows that? Not me. And I think they're maybe the human stuff does it too, but I like making connections between our world and the natural, like the human world and the natural world. Mm-hmm. Where like just even thinking about how other animals see things differently makes me wonder, like, what do I know about what I'm seeing? Like, I don't know, it keeps my mind really open. And the space stuff too. Space stuff is like, well, that seems exciting. And the last frontier.
Are you stoked about the black and female astronauts headed to the moon?
You know what?
Did I steal your thunder?
No, not at all.
Okay.
The first thought I had was, God, I hope this shuttle doesn't blow up or something.
Oh my God, don't jinx it.
I know. That's so sad. But remember we sent the teacher up there and we were like doing all these great firsts because like it hasn't gone so well when we try to do like something.
Yeah, just send the white guys up there. This is the one time we don't want equality.
Yeah,
let's put their lives at risk.
I think it's really great. But I also heard that, I feel like we talked about this on here. There was something that made me think that it was going to be an all-female crew. Do you remember this? An all-female crew was going to the moon?
I remember you talking about the space suits and like...
Oh, yeah, maybe that was it.
I don't know. There was some issue and then they resolved it and you were like, maybe they'll just send... You remember when someone asked Ruth Bader Ginsburg when she would be happy, like, how many women do you want on the Supreme Court? And she said all of them.
Right.
And everyone thought that was so ridiculous. But she's right, because we don't think it's ridiculous when there's all male teams or all male courts.
Right.
And so why wouldn't there be an all female team? Oh my God, they'd have to send so many tampons. Hundreds and hundreds of tampons.
That's so good. The astronaut story that I heard, or the space related story I heard, was that NASA has successfully flown a helicopter on Mars.
No, what?
Yes.
Is it like a baby-sized one?
Yeah, I think so. It was named Ingenuity. It completed its first flight on Monday, and it was
probably like one of those ones you get at the mall, and they look so awesome, and then as soon as you get them home, they break in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think I sent your child one of those.
Well, we all love them, and we've bought several. They look so great.
Fun.
And every time we're optimistic.
Yeah. Remote controlled helicopters. So fun. I remember my brother had knee surgery and he had to be off of his feet. Like couldn't walk, couldn't put any pressure on it for a long time. And he was stuck at home and hated it. So my other brother, who's an engineer or at school to be an engineer, I call him an engineer now. He built a helicopter course with hula hoops and like designed it like hanging through the house. And so it would like take off and he would like fly through the like an obstacle course.
That is FUN. I wish I would have done that before.
Right? When I saw videos, I was like, putting this on my Christmas. Now I'll buy one for myself. That's so much fun.
I love that I keep spelling fun. I think that's my new thing. I'm going to keep doing that.
FUN. Well, it kind of makes it sound like it's a curse word, which is funny.
I'll tell you what else I'm going to keep doing, and that is telling you people about how great Bull and Branch bedding is. I love
best. Fact. I went over to Eli's parents' house in Florida. Every single pillow, every single blanket, every single thing, Bull and Branch, and it was so comfy. Oh my God, their pillows.
Yep, A+.
Oh, these are like luxury hotel linens. Oh my gosh, they are
affordable
so nice.
Somehow. Yeah. I don't know how they do it. I just changed my sheets yesterday, and I was putting the sheet back on, which is the best because it's super deep. I have a California King, and they're never deep enough, and this one is. And I was laughing to myself because I hate the process of washing and doing the bedding. It's just one of my pet peeves. And I was like, you know what? The only good part about this is the fact that this Bull and Branch sheet is deep enough, and I don't have to wrestle it like a weirdo.
Yeah, or like buy those separate straps to hold them on because the ends keep I hate that.
I don't have time for that. I don't want any straps. No. Yeah, these are luxurious. Wow, they're loved by 4 U.S. presidents. I'm going to need to know which presidents. Bull and Branch. Get back to me on that. Yeah. Sleep better at night with Bull and Branch sheets. Get 15% off your first order when you use promo code BrainCandy at bullandbranch.com. That's Bull and Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com. Promo code BrainCandy. Exclusions apply. See site for details. Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. You were saying...
Oh, what were we talking about? We're talking about photoluminescent. Oh, we were talking about space stories about the first group that's going into space. I'm still. It's still my biggest nightmare. I don't know how they do it. And then when you hear stories of the restroom situation, like what the bathroom situation is.
Yeah, and. For me, it's the sleep. Speaking of sleeping on Bull and Branch, it's because they have to sleep standing up, you know?
No, they don't. Are you serious?
They're strapped to the wall.
Stop it.
Or in some sort of like sleeping bag pouch thing.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like they're.
Yeah, now that makes sense in the book, that Andy Weir book. I always forget the name of it.
Hail Mary?
Yes, Project Hail Mary. Thank you. I'm the worst with names. He wakes up and he's like strapped to the side of the wall. And that's.
Can you imagine like getting strapped in and then being like, good night, and then closing your eyes and then falling asleep?
Well, Susie, as somebody who sleeps in your sleep sack that you gave me every night, I almost see no problem with this.
But I mean, the standing up is what gets.
It's the standing up. It's and then somebody's going to be like, it doesn't feel like standing up because you're in zero gravity or whatever. But
you're vertical.
Yeah. I've always said I can't sleep with my feet lower than my like hips or my knees. Like I need my feet to be elevated.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Like I cannot sleep sitting up.
Wait
like on an airplane, I have to put I'm like that annoying person who has to put their feet up on this like seat in front of me.
You do not.
I don't put it like through the armrest. I'm not crazy. I just tuck them into the little pocket front.
Shut up.
I know. I probably look like a toddler on an airplane.
You put your feet up.
Yes.
And then tuck them into that pocket with the magazines?
100% correct.
And you think that is not annoying to the person in front of you?
I know it is annoying, but what I do is I do it quickly and then I don't move the whole entire flight.
I swear that is sociopathy. That you have this is a new low. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I wish I were. Or I sit cross-legged. Like,
well, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's fine.
I can't sleep with my feet on the ground. How? I don't know. It's weird.
I'm shocked. What if this is why brain candy ends?
Oh, Sarah couldn't sleep with her feet on the ground,
and Susie could not.
I don't think I'm the only one who does this airplane move.
If I saw someone do that, I would take a picture of it. Like that would be one of those plane shaming.
I think I'm probably plane shamed a bit.
You have to be because. Are you wearing the shoes?
No, sometimes I'm wearing socks usually.
Oh my God. There's so much to talk about.
Because any flight I'm going to sleep on is a long one. So I'm like getting comfy. Wow. And then just like tuck my feet into there, you know.
Sarah,
or if it's like,
shoes off.
This is only, this is like middle row shit. I don't do it if I'm on the end.
Middle row. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I can't be alone in this. It just is comfortable. And okay, in my defense, I'm very flexible in the knees, and I can tuck into a little teeny tiny ball. I feel like I have to defend. I've also had people can't understand. Like, this is going to be an overshare, but I don't care. I've had many people I've had many conversations where somehow a squatty potty gets brought up.
Yeah,
and I always say I don't need. People are like, oh, I say I don't have one. I don't need one because I could just put my feet on the toilet.
I agree with you about that.
Okay, and then Eli, I said that in a group of Eli's friends, and you would have thought I said I have a tail, and they were like, "What? I don't believe any of it." So then I had to go to the bathroom and show Eli, like with my pants on, because that would be crazy, and sit on there and like I'm like, see what I mean? And then I even tried to soften it in the group, and I was like, just one leg, but it's not one leg, it's both legs. But I lied and said one leg because I was like, they think this is weird, so.
Yeah, like a little monkey kind of. You just put your... I'm not doing that all the time, but I have done it. And I always, when I have done it, I thought, why does anyone pay for a squatty potty?
Thank you. Why would I? It's the same thing. Keeps me flexible. No problem.
Keeps me flexible. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you got made fun of for that. I can see why. I mean, I don't go around telling people about it.
Well, you know.
I like that about you, though, that you don't keep it inside.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had a little slip up.
What happened?
Speaking of keeping things inside, as you know, as anybody who's a longtime listener of the podcast knows, Susie and I are both no farting family people.
Yeah,
we are not doing that.
Allowed.
You know, I've even in my last relationship or in my marriage said. I enacted Maritime law. It's kind of like maritime law where you have to be like 12 miles out in order for it to be open waters. And so I've said 12 feet away from me is like safety zone and you're allowed to do whatever you want.
Maritime law. Maritime law is genius.
It's kind of like maritime law. Same rules apply. So
funny. How did you come up with that name, first of all?
Because I said, how many miles offshore do you have to be in order for it to be open water? Or like, you're allowed to do whatever international water, no man's land. Mm-hmm. And then it just happened to be called merit. I mean, come on.
It writes itself.
Writes itself. You'd be a dummy if I didn't do that, you know?
Okay. So what happened? No farting family.
I was just, and I've always said, like, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to like intentionally, or even just like, I don't want my partner to ever hear me pass gas.
Exactly.
We had some Vietnamese food.
Oh, no.
I was comfortable on the couch.
Oh, God.
And I just relaxed a little too much.
No, you did not.
I did. And Eli looked at me, and the expression on his face was like what I expect my face would look like if he proposed or something. It was like the best day of his life. He was like, oh, it's happening. I've been waiting for so long.
This is sick.
It was like, it didn't stop there, Susie. Then he had to text his sister, because we always laugh about that. Like,
what did he say in the text?
Exactly? Oh, don't worry, I have it. It's my favorite / least favorite thing ever. It says, "Guess what just happened?" And everybody replied, "Tell us." And he wrote,
"Oh my God,
Sarah ... just ... And then I put up an embarrassed GIF of like somebody hiding their face in shame. And then they all guessed, farted? And he said, poof, and did a funny meme of somebody going, poof. And I made sure to say, not on purpose. And then his sister said, I love this thread. And then her girlfriend said, her fiance said, Sarah, welcome. You don't have to keep doing it. Don't worry. I was like, yeah, that's the best line. Then they changed the name of the group chat to something related to my farts. Then Eli sent me a calendar invite for the anniversary.
Oh my God.
Of this day. And now I've been invited to Sarah's Fartiversary, which in case you're wondering happens annually on March 27th. I RSVP'd. No, I will not be attending.
Sarah. Okay, first of all, I'm glad that it was an accidental.
Totally. Fart. But it was so funny. It was funny. My fart was not funny. The responses to it, and like
you told me his reaction. What was yours when it came out of your butt?
I was like, no, it didn't. No, that's not what you heard. Nope. And he said, yes, yeah.
Yes. And what was the noise that it made when it exited? Oh my God, it was a question.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. Just the right amount of cheek connection for there to be a little.
Wow. The interrogative toot.
Yep. Yeah.
That is beyond.
Yeah.
I feel like I should offer my
asked the question and my face gave away the answer.
Sarah.
I know. So it happened. I really thought I would make it to a year. We're just about a couple weeks shy. I couldn't do it.
God. Do you feel like this is going to change?
No.
Have you lost the magic?
Nope, absolutely not.
Maybe it'll add passion. He's so into it.
The message was, it was inevitable, Sarah. Best to just get it over with. I wonder if this will make it onto any podcast content.
I think they know the answer to that.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh, my God.
Shout out to you guys listening right now, supporting me in this.
So do you think he is, most guys are like him, where they're like, they want it to happen?
Yeah. I think they want it to happen because we are so anti it happening, and it like is funny.
Yeah, because we're mortified and disgusted.
Yeah,
and they like that.
Eli is just so accepting of everything and all things, and I think it's just funny for him too.
I like that, but what the problem with it is, apart from just how disgusting it is that it invites more from the man. And that's
I am so lucky that he does not do this. He does not think it's funny. And I think he thinks it's funnier to do them, but I don't hear them, or because I'll always ask him, I'll be like, did you just fart? And he says, no, I didn't. And I said, there's no way. He goes, I'm farting around you all the time. And I go, there's no way that I haven't said, have you farted? And the answer has not been yes at least one time. I ask him all the time and he goes, no.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I feel
I seem to be the culprit in the relationship.
You were just so chilled out. It slipped out. And I bet you what would
now I have to marry him. Now we have to be together forever because he knows.
Yes, you do. But I mean, keep that in mind next time you do dad grass, because that chills you out.
It does.
You know what I mean? What if you just start tooting everywhere?
Alone on the roof.
Dad grass, baby. It is the perfect accompaniment for your spring and summer. Like fire pit time.
Yes. Festival activity.
Yes.
This is like after the beach. You're like hanging out. The sun's going down. Come on.
Come on. I don't know if you're familiar, but if you're somebody who enjoys a nice mellow toke,
yes,
then dadgrass is for you because it's super low in THC, but high in CBD. So this is just all about, and high in being high.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy the effects of cannabis with a clear head.
Yes.
And that's what we all want.
Yes.
And
Magic.
so it's kind of like having a glass of wine. It's basically that level of whatever. And their packaging is so cute. So it makes a great gift. Father's Day, Mother's Day. There's mom grass, dad grass, whatever. All dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and they ship right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/braincandy. Go to dadgrass.com/braincandy for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/braincandy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a few more things to share with you. I do love a good medical story as well.
Okay.
There has been a lot of some really positive findings that have come out of some heart research and its connection to stem cells. And a single injection of stem cells into the heart can slash heart attacks and risk of heart attack or stroke by 58%.
So, okay, this will probably sound silly, but stem cells, the ones that they would put in you, they can come from anyone or just
they can come from the stem cells that they have created have anti-inflammatory effects, and they're called MPCs, mesenchymal or chimal, I don't know how to say that, precursor cells. MPCs is what we're going to call them. And they're stem cells that come from the bone marrow of healthy adult donors. And then those cells are multiplied in a lab. And then the cells, are injected into the heart. And they followed the people who were involved in the study for 3 years. And they showed really great results where heart was less inflamed and less likely to have a heart attack. And they said that it is like putting out like a fire in the heart. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. And I think that people hear stem cells and they think these are like we're getting from like babies or something like that.
Yeah,
because don't you feel like that was like a thing from?
Yeah, and I regret there's this option that you have when you have a child, at least I did, where you can, I don't know, harvest something from something, and it's special because then if they need it later, it's great. And I wish I would have done that. I think it's extra money or something.
To have like the cord blood saved. To? Yeah, the cord blood.
Cord blood.
Yeah.
Yes. What the heck is that? Is that different?
Yeah, I think it's got to be because I think it has a lot of cells. So this is my very loose understanding of it, is that those cells, certain cells in the body, are cells that have not yet been told what to become. So they're almost like this like clean slate cells where you can basically like program them to be what you need them to be. So they're like that. I feel like that's kind of a loosey-goosey description, but I think that's about right.
I mean, that is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Liquid gold there or whatever.
Yeah. So, it reduced the risk. It did say that the trial didn't meet its primary endpoint, which was the reduction of frequency of hospitalizations for decompensated heart failure, meaning their hearts were no longer functioning following treatment. And there was, I guess the measure was similar in the treatment and the placebo groups, but it did meet other specific endpoints of like reducing the risk of heart attacks and stroke. And they saw like this big risk drop of like inflammation of the heart. So it's looking good for these stem cells being used for anti-inflammatory effects. And I had no idea that you can take these cells from bone marrow of any adult donor and then make more of them.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I feel like just a few weeks ago or last week or something, I'm sitting here talking about how we're making meatballs out of woolly mammoths. And this feels a little,
Yeah, this is even better.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, that's great. I saw this headline the other day that was like, babies born now will likely live to like 140. And I was like, yeah, I don't think they're going to want to.
No, not at all. I saw that too. That said, like our life expectancy, like the human, we haven't reached our maximum age potential.
Like, where are they going to live? The earth is going to be just in shambles.
Right. I'm like, I don't know if this is exactly what you want to be doing.
Right. Let's reprioritize.
Yeah. And maybe like, I'd say it's that Jurassic Park. Like, just because we can doesn't mean we should. Like,
yeah.
We're not asking, like, should we do this? And I don't know. I think that we need to be helping the people who are alive get healthier than looking on how to like make us.
Yeah.
I don't need an extra 20 years. I just like really healthy.
How about let's make these ones 85. Better? The years I got.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because right now things are looking pretty crappy.
Have you seen the new or any even like a trailer for this new show on Apple TV called 2037?
No,
I had not seen anything about this, and it comes up like last night or something in my like suggestions on Apple TV. Every person ever is in it. Like all the actors, all of them. Meryl Streep, Sienna Miller. I'm like naming two, but there are you're going to be like, I know him. And it's all about the world in 2037. And the temperature has risen by 1.37 degrees, and they've capped it at like at 2 degrees is like the limit of, and what happens when like these big corporations are just, it's so good. It's such a good show.
You'd recommend it?
Oh, highly recommend. I did not want to go to bed last night. I wanted to watch another episode. But I mean,
night guy always screws morning guy, as we always say, but
oh my God,
I fall for it every time.
Well, Eli is the worst at like,
he likes to stay up. Oh, he's militant about bedtime.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can't fight night guy, but he can.
Wow. Wonder where he got that discipline.
I don't know, because I have none.
Does he get real sleepy or what?
Yeah, and then just knows that he wants to like wake up early, and here I am waking up like way too early. I'm like, I can't dial it in. Like what?
Like Adam and Link will go to bed, and I'll be like, I'll say to Adam when I say goodnight, I'm like, I'm gonna have a party. And I have
fun,
like a solo party, and it's my favorite time when they go to sleep and I'm still up partying, like in my bed next, with my nightstand snacks.
Yeah,
and it is.
Those are the best parties, though.
So
Eli was asleep, and he looks over, and I have this little like stash, this little pile, and he's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Dark chocolate chips and peanuts." And I was like, "I needed just a little snack."
And
he's like asleep over there, and I'm like scrolling through, like shopping on Amazon, eating my little nighttime snacks. Like a
Adam
gremlin.
Only gets mad about it whenever like I start to like open a bag of chips. It's so loud,
Oh my God.
Like I turn into a raccoon. It's ridiculous.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, I'd probably be eating all those snacks if I didn't go to bed. But highly recommend. You should definitely check the show out. But what I want to say about it, what I was noticing is like in the movie show, whatever, they are showing all this devastation to the world and how the world looks now, and it's like pitched as like 2037, but it's footage from right now.
Right. Well, I mean, that's not that far away.
I know, and it seems like this is where we're heading, and it's like a fight for water and
so stupid. I'm glad about it.
It feels like a more serious version of Don't Look Up.
Right. And, because, that one had a bit of levity, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we all saw that as a horror film, but I think some people are like, oh, this is a comedy. We're like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the real deal. and it is good.
Wonder how come I never heard of it though, that show.
Me neither. That's what I want to know. I'm like, this is right up my alley. I don't understand why we didn't hear about this. And for real, everyone's in it, and you're going to love it. I just know it. So
well, and
make
then
sure you check
everybody, after our 15 minutes of blame, where we mentioned the bananas backpack clip from the challenge that was on Yellow Jackets, all the brainiacs were like, Sarah should definitely watch Yellow Jackets. So you got to add that to your list.
Yes. Okay, good. I got some things to watch. Maybe when I stay up late and have my own little party after Eli goes to bed.
Don't tell
I just
Eli.
Get my snacks, and there we go.
That's fun.
I do have one more story, but I think I'll save it for next week because we're out of time, I think.
All right, that's fine. What's the theme of it? Just so I can
the theme is
mentally.
How to read a menu like a food critic.
Ooh.
Yes. 2 food critics from the New York Times have teamed up to write a little article about, it's like a conversation between the 2 of them, and it's how to what to order, how to,
fun.
yeah.
Okay,
they say we need a little bit of a refresher course after the pandemic. A lot of us don't know what to do at a restaurant and don't know what to order, and things are different. And so this is just
we got a lot on our mind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wind it down then. Remember when Sarah was Orthodox?
That's great. Like when my mom says, remember when you were Mormon? Because I went to a Mormon church for a little, I just tried everything.
You've tried evangelicalism, Mormonism,
yes,
Orthodox, any Catholic ever?
Mm-mm.
Now Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Maybe Hindu, Buddhism, whoever. Oh, you did do Kabbalah. Oh, that's Jewish.
Yep.
All right,
went to
keep us posted.
Buddhist Templar too in Thailand. So,
big feet do exist? Don't exist?
Big feet.
We should do a poll on that.
Big heart. Yeah, we need to do a poll. We need to do a poll if they thought, because the evidence that I thought was proving its non-existence, your friend said
that just made it more convincing.
Okay.
I'll have to watch it for myself and decide.
And I think try it both. First, watch it on mute, and then watch it with whatever sound they have over it. Because I'm telling you, the sound made me at the end, I was like, ooh, don't go in the woods. I'm scared.
Okay. What would you do if you saw a Bigfoot? Would you chase it, run away?
No, run.
What if they're really nice and they're just shy? That's why we never see them.
I think I'll smell them before I see them.
Why? You think they have big BMs?
I think if a half man, half ape creature was living in the woods, we're going to guess not showering.
Not showering.
He's probably pretty stinky.
They're reclusive. Okay.
I would imagine cavemen didn't smell good either.
Good
Fuck,
point.
I don't smell so good after 24 hours of no bathing.
Wow, I didn't even consider the smell.
Yeah, I think you'd smell them before you see them.
Well, Eli smelled Sarah and he was into it, so
that is right. Oh my gosh. And I'd love to hear if you have or have not, passed gas in front of your significant other. And if you waited, did your significant other make a big old stink about it?
That's celebration.
Funny. I did not mean to say big
why
old
did
stink.
you tell me about why did you tell me about that helicopter on Mars, though? What was the end of that story?
Oh, just that they did that and they're going to use that for further exploration around Mars. And I think it's a good way to be able to explore the planet without being limited to what a rover could do.
Yeah.
Because, which I think there's probably a lot to consider. The atmosphere of Mars, what lift is probably totally different in a place where the gravity is, and the I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm just making up words now.
No, yeah.
Gravity, interstellar.
Right. All right. Well, you get the idea. I want to thank everybody because I noticed a lot of people have been using our sponsor page on our website. That's awesome. Anytime you use our code, it's such a help to the show. And of course, you can check out our merch there as well. And then
I'm wearing one of our sweatshirts right now, drinking out of our mug as well.
Wow.
Oh, and the new phone covers.
Cute as a button.
So stinking cute.
I know. I got to have Adam order me one. I love how I act like I can't do it. Damsel in distress over here. Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.